Good morning. It's Friday, March 6, 2015. This is Tech Talk Today, episode 141. My name is Chris.
And I'm Angela.
Hey, good morning, Ange. Nice having you here.
I know.
Were you taking a selfie?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, well, yes, I was doing that, but then I was reading Facebook. But
What?
Yeah,
During the intro?
Yeah, I know. It was bad.
That's the sign you've been doing this for too long.
You know, I had a red number on one of my apps.
Oh, you got to check it.
Yeah.
You got a badge.
Mhm.
I know. I
Yep.
get OCD about that,
Yeah.
too. We don't have a lot of news. We're going to also get to some of the, do a health update. But what we do have, I thought maybe what we could do, this is the first time, brand new, we've never done this on the show before. Why don't we assemble a panel of experts, of people who read the news, form very educated opinions, and also have working microphones. Time-appropriate greetings, Mumble Room.
What experts?
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
I was afraid you were jumping right in, and I was going to be like, wait, but the mumble room.
No, you can't
And then,
forget.
yeah,
You got to bring.
I
You
know.
got to bring the Mumble Room. You
I
got
know.
it. You got it.
This is
It wouldn't
great.
make it a morning show without the Mumble Room. All right. So there's a lot of smoke around this rumor that Google's going to launch its own wireless service. Have you heard about this?
Wow.
Google Wireless.
Huh.
And it would run on the Sprint and T-Mobile's network, is the rumor.
Uh-huh.
And there is a new dynamic to this rumor. This no real official word yet, but the new dynamic is, according at least to the Next Web, is that Google's new carrier service may require the Nexus 6, as in the only phone that works with the service at launch is the new Nexus 6. That big old Nexus 6.
Wow. That feels like they're dooming themselves.
Yeah, or at least trying to make it very limited, I think.
That's really... Why would they... Wait, well, okay, so is there infrastructure involved with this, or is this satellite?
They would be riding on top of T-Mobile and Sprint.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, okay, so they're just borrowing some bandwidth.
They're like leasing.
Yeah. Huh. How
Yeah.
would that compare to what
Like-
Apple uses for...
Ting it's more comparable to like what Ting is. It's an MVNO. So it's like an alternative. So when you go out to buy cell service, you could buy from Ting, you could buy from Sprint, you could buy from Verizon or Google. So you could get a Google phone from the Google Play Store that comes with Google Wireless service.
Right, but what I'm asking is like iPads and iPhone... Or
Yeah.
iPads, actually,
Yeah.
and iDevices.
Yeah, the ones that we just put like a GSM chip in there.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
And
it
then
might work on the Google service once they start to open it up, but if they only allow the Nexus 6 device at launch. Mumble Room, do you guys think this rumor's legit? I'm starting to buy that Google's going to do a wireless service, but do you think they would limit it to the Nexus 6?
Well,
They'd definitely
go
be dooming
ahead.
themselves. They'd definitely be dooming themselves and screwing things up because there's a lot of people who have Sprint or T-Mobile phones and they'd love to switch to something like that, like me.
Yeah, I think if Google did this, it would be a temporary thing. It would be like just to make sure they can manage this, keep it limited, because the Nexus 6 is limited.
Is the Nexus 6 not available on T-Mobile or...
It is. It's
Sprint?
on T-Mobile right now. I don't know about Sprint, but it is on T-Mobile right now.
Well, so they're not opening up a market for anybody. So it's basically...
Just going to be cheaper, I guess. That's what I was wondering, the same thing. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
But then I was thinking maybe they give out free wireless data to Google services. So like when you get a Play app, or you stream from Google Music, or you check Google Plus, or you back up your photos to Google Plus, maybe all that's free when you're on Google Wireless.
like doesn't count against your data.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think what they're doing is like the same thing they did with making the Google Glass ridiculously expensive. They only want to get the hardcore fans on board right now, so to speak.
Oh, so like maybe they're looking for a test group
Yeah.
kind of thing, and then
And if you're
implement
gonna
it on
have-
a bigger basis.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Almost guaranteed the Nexus 6 user base is going to be some of your savviest users. Because it's a high-end, very expensive phone.
Yeah.
Doesn't this strike anyone as going against net neutrality if they did have better free connection if you're connecting to Google services, but you have to pay to connect effectively to Facebook and MSN or whatever?
If they
whatever
did that,
non-Google
yeah.
services,
Well-
If they did that.
and I could see them doing it. I
But
could
it's on
see
their
them
own
doing it.
network. You're not going out over the internet, right? So
Well, and it seems like if it's only for their own products, but then if they have like sponsors or supporters, or websites where they...
because Comcast can make the argument that when you watch Comcast on demand, that's not going over the general public internet. Google could attempt to make that argument. Well, when you're using Google Wireless, we have it integrated directly into the Google infrastructure. Something like that. I don't know. No word they're going to do that either. This whole thing's very strange.
One of the other benefits, I guess, if it uses both Sprint and T-Mobile, obviously T-Mobile and Sprint individually can't offer that, right?
Right. Same with Ting's in
it's-
that position now
yeah,
too, though.
so it's multiple carriers, so better coverage.
Yes. Yeah.
overall.
See, I just don't. I'm trying to figure out though what they would do exactly, other than maybe it's like their fiber initiative, where they roll into an area, they put Google Fiber, and then all of a sudden, all of the other ISPs in that area start getting more competitive. Anything that Google can do that sort of legitimizes the MVNO space and makes the big carriers try to be a little more competitive is going to be a good thing, even if it's only for Nexus 6 users. And maybe that's Google's entire intention here. They've done stuff like that before. All right, moving on, kind of maybe related to Google, at least they're giving it a go. Self-driving cars will be in 30 cities by the end of next year. That's according to New York Observer. Automated vehicle pilot projects will roll out in the UK and 6 to 10 U.S. cities this year. They'll first unveiling project in Tampa Bay, then it's going to move out from there. The following trial programs will launch in 12 to 20 more cities in U.S. location, which means driverless cars will be on the roads in 30 U.S. cities by the end of 2016. The trials will be run by Comet LLC, a consulting firm focused on automated vehicle commercialization. They're focusing on semi-controlled areas and that the driverless vehicles will serve a number of different purposes for both public and private uses. The vehicles themselves, which are tall and developed by Vico Systems, which are all developed by Vico Systems, will even vary from two-seaters to full-size buses that can transport up to 70 people. At some locations, the vehicles will drive on their own paths, occasionally crossing vehicles and pedestrian traffic, while at others, the vehicles will be completely integrated with existing cars.
I can't wait to see how many points they get for hitting pedestrians.
Ba-dum-bum, Ange. Ba-dum-bum. It should be interesting, though. Like
the beginning of Skynet.
Yeah.
A driverless car in London. I could see out in the middle of nowhere, but in London.
Yeah, I would actually prefer a driverless car in downtown Seattle. I don't want to have to deal with Seattle. Just take me everywhere around there.
Yeah, this guy makes me drive him around like Miss Daisy.
Well, first of all, my truck doesn't even fit. Like, they don't...
I've driven the truck in Seattle. It's fine.
BS, dude.
What do you mean BS?
You've driven it once.
No. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe... No.
Depending on where you go, it's fine. But, like, when you go downtown, oh, my gosh. Like, some of the roads aren't even wide enough for the truck. Literally, I've done it. And they're not even wide enough for the truck. Or, like, the parking spots.
Once. You
the
don't
parking
know.
spots, the truck's out in the road. Oh, I used to drive down to Beacon in the truck.
Yeah, I know. I know, but you said that maybe that I've gone maybe once. That's not true.
Oh. Well, I've done it, like, maybe 100 times.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
They had a parking garage.
All I want to do is I want to park somewhere up north and then just get in a little automated car. Like I don't have to. It doesn't have to drive me the whole way. Sure, it'd be great if it could come to my house, but if they can't work that out, I'll like just go to Everett or like 20, 30 miles and then park and then they take me the rest of the way to Seattle. I'm good.
Well, we were talking about how much better this would be for our health if we were able to relax and not have to worry about getting hit or paying attention to the road while we drive or being.
Well, this is an ideal opportunity for VR goggles in the car, so you can spend your time while the car's busy, doing an hour's journey. You can sit there doing an hour playing a game or doing a simulated journey to work.
Well, I don't know about the whole relax thing because the first maybe after a while, but the first few times, even if you had some kind of distraction, you're going to be very cautious and you're going to be looking around seeing, oh, how's this car driving? Or, is it going to hit anybody?
I'd take a nap.
No, it'd be like taking a cab.
Well,
it's no different than taking a cab. You sit in the back and you don't worry about it. You just let them drive.
But with a cab, you've got a driver. In a car that there's no driver, you have that moment of, is the computer going to make the right choice?
Right. And what are you going to do if you're in a cab with a driver? Are you going to lean over and pull his feet off the pedals and rip the steering wheel out of his hand?
I know what the problem is. We're gonna have a major problem with self-driving cars that we really have to seriously talk about.
Masturbation.
Well, okay.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I don't think any of us thought of that.
But it's along those lines. So less people are going to be dying, right? Because there's going to be less car crashes, and more people are going to be doing baby making in that car. You know what I'm talking about? Woo! That's what I'm worried about.
All right, let's give Dan a chance to talk. He tried to chime in there a couple times.
Yeah, all I wanted to say was you're going to get really stressed out when you realize there's no steering wheel on the vehicle, even if there's not another person driving the car.
Right? Yeah. I guess there's an element of lack of control.
Only until you get used to it, and then it's fine. I mean, when you drive, you're always tense about other drivers, but when you get used to having no steering wheel in the car, you're gonna get kicked back and relax.
Well, and really, I mean, if you think about it, you have to trust yourself to drive, right? But you also have to trust everybody else on the road. So,
which I don't.
Yeah, no,
No, I don't. I don't trust any of you
Well,
guys out there.
what they could do is they could set up some kind of like Android app, and you could control the car if you wanted, like a remote control car.
Yeah, until your Wi-Fi doesn't work or your Bluetooth disconnects.
Yeah, nice.
Horrible. All right, so
or you have a sticky hand.
Also, I'm starting to watch. There is the battle for net neutrality has not ended. The Republicans have introduced the Internet Freedom Act, which essentially wipes out internet net neutrality. U.S. Representative Marsha Blackburn this week filed legislation that she calls the Internet Freedom Act. So we'll start following this and see. This is going to be a long fight. So we don't need to get all worked up about it right now because we knew this was going to happen. So we'll just see where it goes next. Andrew, you ready to do a health update? Do you want to hear about my call with Lauren? So I guess I should recap.
Yeah.
I'll recap real quick. So for those of you, 2 weeks ago, I started a program on the air trying to improve my health, my energy level, my endurance when I'm working.
There were quotes around that.
Well, because I don't have other endurance problems. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying specifically around how much I work.
Okay.
And also improve my health and weight and stuff like that.
Sleep.
So sleep is a big one. In fact, maybe we should start there. And I started.
Ooh, do I get to say a couple things about your sleep?
Do you want to tell them about the Ambien thing? So I've been having this, the best way I can describe it to you is torture. It's restless leg syndrome, but it's anywhere in my body. It could be in my arm. It's usually in my leg somewhere or in my side. It can be in my back. And I have to just get up and move around. And I can wake up and have it. And it's really, really, I can be drunk and I can still have it. I can be exhausted from not having slept and I can still not be able to sleep because of it. So I was so tired after having gone 2 days in a row having this problem. I thought to myself, I do not want to miss another night of sleep. So I took an Ambien. I actually took an Ambien with a shot of gin. And then I went and I had a great night's sleep. Right, Ange?
So I go to bed before him because even though he can fall asleep pretty fast and he starts snoring right away. He could lay down at 8 p.m. Way before I go to bed.
Yeah.
And he'll fall asleep right away. So
I start fading. So that's why one of the reasons I'm doing this, because I start fading by 6:30, 7 o'clock. Yeah. I'm fading bad.
So the rule is I get to go to bed first so I can fall asleep. Well, I did fall asleep and he came to bed. I don't know what time because I was asleep, but I was woken up at 1:30 and he was just tossing and turning and rubbing his hands together. It sounded like sandpaper. It wasn't like a calm rubbing hands together. It was like I'm trying to get the skin off of my hands.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. So I laid there for about 10 minutes hoping okay, maybe this is just a sleep cycle. Maybe he'll go to sleep. And I figured he had taken Ambien. In the past, when he had taken Ambien.
Prescribed to me by a doctor.
Yes. Yeah. In the past when he's taken it, he would do something with his hands again, but it would just be moving his fingers together.
Evil genius contemplating.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was doing this hand rubbing motion.
But then it would be violently thrown down. I
did this hand rubbing motion, and Ange told me when I wake up, she's like, "You've been rubbing your hands."
No. This is so. As soon as I knew that he was awake, I said, "What the f did you take last night?" Because I knew something either he drank or he had an Ambien. Because it is the craziest. I had to go down to the couch. I didn't fall asleep until 2 a.m.
So it was bad. So I'm not taking Ambien again.
Because, the thing is, and he made it very clear back when he was on it in the past that if I wake him up within a couple hours of taking it, it does the opposite effect. It keeps you awake. Yeah. So I didn't even bother trying to wake him up.
I wanted to finish.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. So I told Ange, I wake up, I don't have a recollection of any of this, like rubbing my hands or moving around or any of this kind of stuff. And so I'm starting to argue with him, no, I wasn't doing it. It's not as bad as you're making it sound, because if it was as bad as you're making it sound, I would remember that. How would I not remember that? So I start, she says, you were going like this and you're rubbing your hands back and forth. And I was like this? You mean going like this? And as soon as I start to do the action, I could feel that my hands were raw on all of the spots from rubbing so much. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, don't do the Ambien thing. That was bad.
Yeah.
But I was so, because I'd gone 2 nights without sleeping. I was really, really worried about it. And I start to get dysfunctional. I put the Thai food in the freezer on accident.
Leftover food in the freezer.
It starts getting really weird. So,
our mayonnaise is gone.
One of the things I decided to do was I decided to try a couple of different things. One, I hired a nutritional consultant who's helping me with some of this kind of stuff and just working out other issues with me. I'm going to talk about that in a second. The other thing I decided to do was I decided to try out acupuncture. Mm-hmm. And I had a very interesting experience. So I went in there, and the acupuncture person says, what are you feeling? And I tell them, okay, it's this problem, and that problem. And so they figure out where they need to poke me, right? And so I'm getting these little tiny needles put in throughout my body. Just a little poke here, a little poke there. They're really fast. They're really good at it. It doesn't really hurt. Sometimes you feel it a little bit. And then I have my hand, and one poke goes in there, and my whole hand spasms. Oh, sorry, that's just a little chi right there. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Fine. And then they finish putting the pins in me, and then they come back around to my right arm. And I don't have any pins in my right arm. I just have a couple in my hand. Or needles, they're not pins. And they say, okay, well, these ones are going to feel a little sparky. I'm like, sparky? And I'm like, oh, this is funny. Okay, sparky. Haha. No, when that first needle went into my right arm, like it was like somebody attached electric like diodes to every single needle in my body all at once. They all lit up. It was kind of painful, and then it settled. And then the next one went in, and it also kind of had the same sensation. And then when the next one went in, it was a different sensation. It was like a circuit had been completed, and somebody had strung a string between all the needles and then just pulled them all tight. And I could feel something tense between all of the needles circling through my body. And then I laid there for about 45 minutes. It was very relaxing. And I slept amazing that night. Best night sleep. In fact, I slept pretty good last night, too.
Yeah.
And I got acupuncture again last night.
Where did you get the idea of going to an acupuncturist? Did somebody recommend it? Or
yeah, a good friend recommended it to me. Yeah. Yeah, and I'd never tried it. I was already curious because I was like, is this legit or not? And I was like, well, why not? Why not try it? I mean, I'm desperate. And, the whole idea is they're like putting needles in like your body's nervous system and messing with your energy flow anyways, right? And I thought, well, it feels like restless energy, so maybe that's a good way to go. So I did sleep really well the 2 nights that I've done that. I can't do it every single day, so I don't know if it's going to have residual effects. But that brings me to my phone call with Lauren earlier this week, who's the person who's helping me try to work out the nutrition end and the exercise end of this. And I was talking on the phone with her, and I mentioned that I've been having problems with this restless leg syndrome, and she brought up a few other things. She pretty quickly also honed in on my exercise situation.
Good.
And you're going to love this.
The restless leg stuff, is it like cramping at all, or just kind of like tingly, or just like annoying, or how?
It's very tingly. It starts. I can even start to feel it like so. Last night I was sitting in the chair with my son on my lap around 8 o'clock, and I could start to just feel this tingly restlessness in both my legs, like I just needed to stand up, and so I had him get down, and I went for a walk for about 20 minutes. Which I usually don't try to exercise late at night, but I just wanted to kind of burn off some energy. And and I took a Benadryl, and I went to bed afterwards. And I managed to sleep through the night, which was good.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
Are you getting much exercise in then during the day, or when are you
laughing at me? So this week I haven't, because I was a little sick earlier in the week. The previous weeks I've been walking every Monday, but that week I didn't feel well, so I didn't walk. That's another reason I went for a walk last night, is because I was feeling better, and so I wanted to get some exercise in. I'm trying to get walks in, but this week has been bad.
Okay. I wonder if it's just a new thing that you've experienced this week, if it's just because of like the lack of movement or something, and then maybe once you start being able to go for walks again, maybe that'll kind of dissipate.
Yeah, I'm going to try to make an effort to do that a lot. And it's nice out, too, so I don't even have an excuse. I mean, other than I have work. That's my excuse, but it's not a very good one.
At least some of the stuff you could probably do, like if you need to listen to things and stuff like that, you can always listen and go for a walk at the same time.
I totally do that. Or like sometimes like there's podcasts I'll listen to that are essentially kind of research, because they'll talk about a topic. And so I'll put that on the phone and I'll go listen to a podcast while I go for a walk.
Yeah, I love doing that, because then you're, filling your brain with motivation and knowledge and stuff, like while you're moving your body too. It's a really good combo.
Yeah, it feels productive in a couple of different ways, which is nice.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why I love podcasts, right there. So there you go. Lauren recommends podcasts too. So she's right. The exercise, and I've gone on a couple of walks this week, because it has been nice. I went on a really nice walk around the whole complex here the other day.
Nice.
And it was. We should go on, because there's a swamp area over there. Maybe we'll have time before WTR starts. No? Okay. No. All right. So she has an idea to help with the sleep. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
You ready to hear what Lauren thinks I should do to help with the sleep? And I've actually already started. I don't know if you've noticed. I've actually already started doing that
I
this
know
week.
that no work after 9.
Yeah, that's it right
except
there.
for unfiltered.
There we go. That's it right there.
What time are you going to bed?
That varies depending on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I go to bed as early as like 8:30, and sometimes I go to bed as late as midnight. But most of the time, I'd say the average is about 10:30, 11. Maybe 10:30, 11. I tried not to go to bed as late as 11:30, because I can really feel the difference between 10:30 and 11:30.
Mm-hmm. And what are you typically doing, like an hour or so before bed?
Oh, you had to ask me that. I am working on my computer, but usually all my computers I do, not that it really makes a huge difference probably, but I have a program called Flux that adjusts the temperature of the screen to at night as the sun sets. It adjusts with the sunset. So I do that, but I do spend time looking at the screen because I'm usually working or I usually what I usually do is put the kids to bed, and I either spend time with Ange or I go work, or I spend time with Ange and then I go work. So yeah, I usually always work for about a half hour to an hour before bed.
I would really try to not do that. Like, even if you just try it for a week and see, I mean, just try to shut it down by 9.
So much productivity, though, when those kids finally go to bed. It's such a good...
Yeah, and I mean, what time do they go to bed?
We put them, because we want to get stuff done, we put them to bed between 7:30, 8 o'clock. Usually sometimes, about 7:30, 8.
Okay, so what I would suggest then is after you put them to bed, then, work for an hour or whatever, but close it down after that, and then just be present with her and relax for an hour before you go to bed, because you really are taking work into your dreams. And, it's not just about the screen and the fact that your eyes are, adjusting for sleep. It's the information that's going in your brain, because even if you do the brain dump, like I talked about, if you're still, typing things up and responding to people in emails and things like that, that is going into your subconscious, and then you're going to be thinking about that, and then you're working in your dreams, and you're that's why you're not sleeping well, because you're thinking of all the things that you still have to do, and it even probably feels like you are doing them sometimes while you're sleeping, which makes you feel like you're not actually sleeping, and then you wake up a bunch of times, and then you're like, crap, I don't want to forget to do this, or whatever. So I've experienced that, and so I really am making a conscious effort myself too to shut it down by 9. And if it's on my phone, I'm putting my phone on silent and putting it face down so I don't see alerts that are popping up. And I really think that is helpful, and it really will help her sleep. So if you could just try that this week,
I will
see how.
I will do a 9 o'clock. Done by 9 kind of thing. I think that could work, and I'll try it, and maybe it'll help. It has been. I've so about 9 o'clock, I cut myself off. Although it hasn't been a full hour, I usually start to sort of drift off. But I think maybe that's helping too, because I'm doing that as well.
Well, I think what's interesting is that she said you're taking it to your dreams, and you don't hear your dreams. Or you don't remember. I mean,
usually not. About once a week, I'll remember one or two.
Yeah. So you wouldn't necessarily know that that's what's happening, but you are dreaming. You're just not remembering them. So you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe it is happening more, and I just don't know it.
Yeah.
I do. Sometimes when I remember the dreams, I wake up and I'm like, oh, really? I dreamt about work. What could have been sex? That's always my. All right. One last clip we're gonna play here. She honed in on the veggies issue again, and this time I realized what my barrier is to eating veggies and what I could do to break it down.
Is it your mom?
Break it. What? No.
What?
It's that I don't get to play with fire. I think really I still am really having a hard time with vegetables, and I just I would love suggestions on things I could do with vegetables with the barbecue, because that would at least get me motivated to try it, because then that's sort of fun. So if you have any recipes or anything like that involve veggies and the barbecue, or anything really barbecue related, that's always fun for me, because I love grilling. So.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I mean, you can grill a lot of things, especially zucchini and summer squash and stuff like that. It's really good. Okay. And even asparagus and stuff. Are there vegetables that you absolutely hate?
Well, I'm trying to open up myself to try everything again, because things like Brussels sprouts and asparagus would have been on my hate list. But if there's some way to make them make asparagus amazing on the barbecue, then I'm willing to try it just to see if it's worth it, and then maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't.
Good. Okay, cool. Yeah. And a lot of it too is just by seasoning it with different flavors and stuff. I think people get bored because they're eating it either boiled or just steamed or something, and it's very plain, but when you put different flavors with it, then it's pretty good. So I will definitely find some recipes on stuff like that and email them to you. Nice. So I'll get those soon. I'll let you guys know how they turn out.
Yeah. Well, and really, we just need to blend some vegetables and throw it in stuff.
I know. I know. I keep meaning to bring the juicer here.
You know what? Make spaghetti squash.
Yeah.
and and a tomato sauce with a bunch of vegetables blended into it.
Just not huge on the veggies.
Well, that's what it's
So,
blended.
Chris,
Yes, sir.
something to have with a barbecue, if you want to eat sprouts, I've discovered recently is if you make a coleslaw with grated raw sprouts, apple, half a red onion, and mix that with red wine vinegar, mayonnaise, and a little bit of olive oil.
Wow.
It is amazing.
Wow, that's
really
that does
good.
sound amazing. I like red onion.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
That's,
And
that's
raw
for sure.
sprouts as well. You know,
Yeah.
you don't even have to cook them. And it goes great with the burger.
I love sprouts, but always, sautéed. Angela saute them and put seasoning, and the leftovers are great in omelets the next morning.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Well, and we do have 2 wok
Yeah, we do.
pans
Yeah.
at home. You should really bring one here
Yeah.
because I'm sick of them being on the counter.
I fried up green beans the other day, and I really liked the way that turned out.
Oh my gosh, they were great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, did you tell them about that meal?
No. Well, do you remember? Because I actually don't remember the meal.
The honey chicken.
Yeah.
Honey
All
garlic
right.
chicken.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So it was funny because it's one of those meals where I was totally on another track to make something else, and Angela's like, I don't really feel like that.
Barbecue sauce. I didn't want barbecue
a barbecue
sauce
base.
chicken.
Yeah. But I was gonna do a
Yeah.
barbecue base for the sauce for the chicken, barbecue sauce, and Angela's like, I don't really want barbecue sauce. I'm like, oh, well, okay. That's kind of what I've been planning this entire time, but I got some really good mango vinaigrette from our local butcher. And I took the chicken and I threw it in a Ziploc bag, threw the mango vinaigrette in there. It was really a salad dressing, but it worked great as a marinade. And so they marinated for about half the day or maybe a whole day or so in that bag. And then I took out some garlic, roasted that, roasted 3 whole, I think not cloves, but bulbs, I guess, of garlic, and threw some butter in the wok pan. Mm-hmm. Then I took the garlic and I, squeezed it all out into the butter, and I fried the garlic, the roasted garlic, in the butter. Added a little sea salt in there, and then I just put in a lot of honey, and got the honey really warm and got it hot, and so that way it was really kind of gooey and goopy. Mm-hmm. And then I just took some chicken, the stuff that marinated in the mango, put that on some really hot coals, and got them, got the grill marks on each side, and then I brushed the honey on, and just the chunks of garlic come on, and then because the honey, and that's why I put the honey on a little later, because otherwise it'll burn. Mm-hmm. So instead of burning, because I did it towards the end, it caramelized around the edges of the chicken.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Paired with
fried
green beans.
Yeah, which I put some Johnnies in.
And some onions.
Yep, some onions in there and a couple other things.
And it was fried in butter or bacon grease.
I think it was fried in butter.
Yeah,
Might have been
I
fried
can't
in
remember.
bacon grease, but yeah. It was really quite good. And it really came together pretty quick once I did the marinating ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to getting some veggie recipes.
That marinade technique works really well on fish too. I'd use that all the time on trout and tilapia. I just did a garlic, olive oil, and sea salt marinade. I cooked up 6 of them yesterday, so I'll have them to eat. And it was tilapia too. Yeah,
I got you some more tartar sauce yesterday, actually.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it's in the pantry.
So if you have some really great recipes like this is probably great. I should probably just plug the Open Your Mouth .recipes site. It's a GitHub repo that has open source recipes on there, and you know what? I should also post the ones. I'm gonna have to finally get off my ass and post the ones that I get for this on there. I think. So if I get some good veggie ones that I barbecue, I think I'm gonna post them on there.
Yeah.
And some of the ones I come up with, I should be putting them on here.
We don't have your veggie basket anymore that I got you. I don't know what happened to it, but because that was a long time ago. But my mom got you some of those metal trays that you can set on the grill. I found those. Good.
A couple
days ago.
So if you have some recipes you'd like to contribute, openyourmouth.recipes would be a great place to do it.
Yes, please.
Yeah, some veggie recipes would be really appreciated, especially stuff for the barbecue. It doesn't have to be, or crock pots. Crockpot recipes are really good too. Hey, do we have any swag we want to mention before we roll out of here? I know there's a new one I thought there was a new one we were gonna launch today.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to though.
Okay.
I don't have if I would have brought my laptop here, I could.
You didn't?
No, I mean it is. It's out there, but I didn't bring it. I didn't get it set up before we.
All right, so maybe by last, then we'll have it. Then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is today Friday?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's a big one to help our efforts at Linux Fest Northwest.
Yep.
In the meantime, you can help us prepare for Linux Fest Northwest by going to patreon.com/today. You also help other things on the network, like funding the new How to Linux show and some other things we have in the works, including a few surprises we might have for you coming up that we talked about on the pre-show.
Yep.
Patreon.com/today. You also get access to the activity feed, which is full of behind-the-scenes goodies. And sometimes it's first exclusive before we release them wider to the audience. Like the scale coverage. Patreon.com/today. Thanks to all of you. We're almost to 460. If you'd like to help pop us over, you can do it. Be a great Friday thank you to us. Hey, Andrews, I saved something to the end of the week just for you. A video that I thought only you would appreciate as uniquely because of your, you often refer to yourself as a Mac.
Yes.
So this video is targeted directly for you.
I feel like it's going to make fun of me.
Well, we'll just wait and see.
Okay.
So Tech Talk today will be back on Tuesday through Friday. Actually, I might take Thursday off next week. Yeah, because there's no Tech Snap.
Right.
And so then I just get the whole day off, which almost never happens. So I might take next Thursday off.
Okay.
But we'll let you know. We'll keep the calendar updated. You can always check jupiterbroadcasting.com/calendar. Mumble Room, thanks for being here. Everybody else out listening, they should come and hang out in the Mumble Room too, with these guys do. This is really cool. JBLive.tv is where you do it. And thanks to the chat room as well. I'll leave you with this video. See ya on Tuesday. Oh, and of course, Linux Action Show on Sunday and the Faux Show on Sunday. So join us for that. Bye, everybody.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC.
What's with the big hand?
Well, I figured it's time to show the world my position.
Really? Well, that's what I was trying to do with this ultra-hip t-shirt I designed on iLife.
Number one. Don't want it goofing off.
PC. Such a whiz with those numbers, you know that we can't both be number one.
I was here first.
That's debatable. Let's not argue about it. I mean, we're the only guys in town. Check us out. Look around. There's nobody else.
You're right. No one else.
No one.
Hi, I'm Linux. And there are an estimated 30 million Linux users out there.
How long have you been standing there?
Long time.
Boy, you sure grew up fast.